Okay, um, now we will be talking about connectors, right? In this class today. And this is the first class of series of classes with grammar content. So we can work on your structure, on your technique, try to avoid mistakes, and also improve vocabulary using better words, making better choices when we are speaking. So connectors number one, let's go. Connectors are called coordinate conjunctions. That's the elegant name for connectors. And the coordinate conjunctions are these. Only 6. And, or, yet, but, for, and so. And these are very simple, but these are like the first connectors that you learn. What we're going to do today is that I'm going to teach you how to use them and maybe find more uses than the ones you already know. So let's go first one. The first one is and. Okay, now you know and let's talk about 3 cases in which and is useful as a connector. The first one, and the most basic one, is to add one idea to another. Right here you have an example. She likes dogs and she's not indifferent about cats. What I'm doing is that I am adding one idea to the first idea, that she likes dogs, and I want to add more about her taste in cats. So it's very simple, you know that. Also, and is a very good connector if you want to organize things chronologically, in time, creating sequences. Like here, she went home and took a bath. That's not only 2 ideas, but this is also the sequence in which they happened. First, she went home, and second, she took a bath. You see? So you can use it to organize sequences. Number 3, you can also use it as a consequence connector. When you suggest that one idea is the result of other idea. Look here. They didn't pay the bill and the electricity was cut off, which means that as a consequence of not paying the bill, well, that resulted in that the electricity was cut off. Okay, so as you can see, it's not only 2 ideas together, it's not only one sequence, but it is also a consequence from the first idea. And this is what we are watching in and. Okay, so this is a way you can use and, right? With the next connect. Next connector is but. And well, but everybody knows that it can suggest a contrast. Proper translation for it in Spanish is pero, and that's very simple, right? He usually sleeps well, but last night he couldn't sleep at all. This is a contrast, as you can see, because something changed. Something is different to the first situation where he sleeps very well. But the thing is that last night everything was different. It's a contrast, and the right connector for that is but. Anyway, there's more you can do with but, right? 2 more things you can do with but, because you can connect ideas, and it would mean it would have 2 different translations. The first one is this one. Everybody but Leonard came to the birthday party. What it means is that everybody with the exception of Leonard. Now, the proper translation to that in Spanish is excepto, right? And that's a good translation for but too. So if you're thinking about saying excepto or menos, you can use but. Also, a good translation for but in Spanish is sino. Like here in this other example, we have no option but to wait. Sino esperar. That's all. And those are two more things you can do with but, not only pero. Next is or, which it gives you options, right? It suggests that one out of several possibilities can be realized. It gives you options. For example, we can travel by car or we can take the train. In that case, you have two options. You can use the car, you can use the train. You choose. What happens when you have more options? Well, it's simple. You work it with commas and the connector or. Like here, I need to fix my car, comma, rent one, comma, or get a friend who takes me to college. In that case, you have three options, and you can have as many options as you wish. Or is the right connector for that. But also, it can help you to suggest the possible outcome of a situation. And normally, this outcome is negative because we use it to express negative consequences. For example, you have to pass the test or you will fail the subject. As you can see, failing the subject is a negative, something that you don't want. So, well, in that case, if you don't want to fail the subject, you better pass the test. Or you have to be quiet, or I will call the police. As you can see, I'm talking about the possible result, and I'm talking about a possible result that you don't like. It's a negative result, so you can use it that way too. In a way, we're talking about options. I am giving you options, okay? So you better pass the test if you don't want to fail the subject, right? That's your option. That's to you. You better lower your music if you don't want to get the police come to your house. So I'm giving you options anyway. That's all here. You have here another one. Yet. Now yet can be used as two different things. The first one is an adverb. And this class is not about adverbs. We will have a class about adverbs later, but this class is not about adverbs. But as an adverb, it can give you an idea of an action that hasn't been completed or started. And it's very similar to the meaning of the word still, aún, todavía. Here's a good example. The bus hasn't picked the kids up yet. Aún, todavía. No ha recogido a los niños. And as you can see, well, it is not connecting. This yet is not a connector because it's not connecting anything. But it tells you a situation about the picking up, the verb. So that's why it's an adverb. And it means aún or todavía. But the topic of here in this class is as a connector. So as a connector, it suggests a possible contrast. Here's a good example. You should submit the report today, yet the professor will probably give an extension. And here what it means is aunque. Right? So it gives you like hope. It gives you like, it opens a door. Yeah, this is the situation. Yet it may change. Right? Things might be different. I don't know, there is a possibility. So aunque, That's what yet would mean as a connector. Another one, for. Okay, now for, it's it has many uses in English. You should not confuse it with a preposition, which you know, for, it can mean por or para, and well, in that case it's a preposition. And yeah, for example here, this present is for my mom, para mi mamá. Yeah. And in here what you have is a preposition, and that's not the topic here. We want to use for as a connector, and for is a connector that many people don't use today in English. It's not common to see for used as a connector today in modern English, but it gives you the reason for the preceding clause, which means it explains the reasons for something. What we use today in modern English is it's the connector because, but for is a synonym of because. Here, the car won't start for it has no gas. As I told you, this is not very much used in modern English. It means the same, or what normally people would say is the car won't start because it has no gas. And it's the same meaning. It's porque, right? Or here, he obtained a good position in the company, for his father is in the board of directors. It's the same to say he obtained a good position in the company because his father is in the board of directors. Porque. Now, for. Where can you find it? Well, for, you can find it used as a connector in old literature. If you read Shakespeare, if you read the Bible, in those old books, you will find for as a connector. Also, you may watch it in movies that are based in old British times. They use it for when there are movies about the times of the kings. Also in TV shows like Game of Thrones, which they speak Old English, and maybe movies about the Roman Empire. They like to use this Old English language. Even though Romans didn't speak Old English, they spoke Latin. But anyway, they use Old English to give you the sense of antique language. There, in those type of TV shows, movies, or books, you can see for as a connector. And the last one is so. And so really connects a cause with a consequence. That's the main issue here. He forgot to take his dog to the vet, so it died. The consequence is that the dog died, and the cause, it's because they never took him to the animal doctor, the veterinary. So as you can see, it's a consequence. You can translate so as entonces, por eso, así, así que. Those are good translations for so. Anyway, it connects a cause and a consequence. Now it can also be used for different things. For example, adding information that is similar. Like here, Carlos is an army officer, and so were his father and his grandfather. Right here, the good translation for that is y así, or y así también. Also, you can translate it as de la misma manera, which is a little extensive, but you can do it. and you can understand that Carlos is doing the same thing his father and his grandfather did. Okay, so that's another way you can use so. Okay, so those are the connectors. That's great. The first connectors we're using in this class. Now you have a test, which is not difficult. It's only something to put this information into practice. So you go ahead, go to your workshop, find the test, and good luck. I hope you learn a lot with this exercise.